Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Oni's Fight Picks, where I make the picks, you make the cash. We missed the last UFC, which was between Makhachev and Bobby Green. So I apologize for that, but I am going through a bunch of stuff right now in real life. I need to deal with. I'm moving back to Japan. They're finally opening their borders, so I'm getting everything in order. And also, I'm going through some other stuff that I need to be focusing on. So I apologize for that, which in turn will lead me to this announcement, which is I will be doing only the named UFC events 100% of the time, but I might be skipping some of the undercard or the under events, not the names like the fight nights, all those kind of things. So I will try to do all of them, but if I can't, I will post on my Twitter and I'll let you guys know. But other than that, it's going to be the same. I took out, as I said in my last video, I took out the bet part right now. I'm trying to rework how I'm doing the bets and how I'm going over that because I'm not liking the betting on people I know that I think are going to lose, just because there's some value in it. So I'm going to be reworking that whole system as we go on. Soon the bets will be back, I promise. But for now, it's going to be out. So let's just quickly go over our last fight, which was UFC Fight Night, Jamal Hill versus Johnny Walker. I picked 4 out of the 5 correctly, which is good. We didn't take any bets for that, so I'm not going to show you the bet part. So let's go over our first matchup. Was Joaquin Buckley versus Abdul Razak Al-Hassan. I thought it was going to be way more sided towards Buckley, but Al-Hassan did well. He made it 3 rounds. He got to the decision, and I honestly thought Buckley was just going to destroy him. So in that case, I was correct, but I guess overestimate Buckley. Jim Miller versus Nicholas Mota. I was very, very confident in that pick with Jim Miller. I did not see the knockout coming, but I thought he was going to get the submission. But yeah, it was crazy to see that knockout round 2. But good for Miller. He's a veteran. He deserves that. And Nicholas Mota, he's new. I said in my last video that he's new. I think he's going to have the kind of UFC jitters. And going against Jim Miller, there was just no way he was going to get that win. Parker Porter versus Alan Badeau. Parker Porter, I thought he was going to maybe get the knockout just because of the heavyweight aspect, but I knew he was going to be better all around, and he was. He inched out, or he got that decision. Kyle Dawkins versus Jamie Pickett. I had faith in Jamie Pickett. He got caught round 1 by Kyle Dawkins. I thought Dawkins was going to stay standing the whole time, but he surprised me. He got that takedown. He got the submission and got the win. And lastly, Johnny Walker versus Jamal Hill. I had Jamal Hill. I was very confident in Jamal Hill. Johnny Walker is a badass, and that knockout was just insane. But it happens, I'm sure he'll recover from it, and that ends the fights for 2 weeks ago, I believe it was. Let's move on to our fights for this week. We have UFC 272. Our first fight is at heavyweight. We have Sergey Spivak versus Greg Hardy. This fight looks like it's going to be a banger. Sergey Spivak, I think, is all around the better fighter. Greg Hardy, I'm not impressed with him in any of his fights. He looks like he's strong and he has a mean punch. That's about it. Sergey Spivak actually has the skill to back it up. Although, Greg Hardy does look a little bit better than his. He looks better than when he first started, but still, I think Sergey takes this fight. I wouldn't recommend taking Hardy on this one, but it's a heavyweight fight. Anything could happen. We've seen crazier stuff happen in heavyweight division. So for this pick, I'm taking Sergey Spivak. On to the next round, we have Kevin Holland versus Alex Oliveira at welterweight. Alex Oliveira has been fighting for a long time. He's great in the submission. He's great in the knockout. But Kevin Holland, I think, even though his last 3 fights aren't really showing his skill. I think Kevin Holland is a great fighter. If he can stop the bullshit shit talking during the fight and just focus on actually fighting correctly and fighting well, I think he takes Alex Oliveira. I think he beats him in the stand up. I think he loses in the on the ground, but I don't see this fight going to the ground. To be honest, both of them seem like they want to cement their legacy here, or Alex Oliveira at least for his legacy. Kevin Holland needs to get in the win column again, and I think Alex Oliveira tweeted out too that he needs this win, so I think he's just going to be going for that knockout. On to the next, we have Edson Barboza versus Bryce Mitchell. This is an interesting fight. Everyone has Barboza as the favorite. I think, or sorry, Mitchell is the favorite, and I think that is correct. Barboza is a killer on the feet, but very, very much lacks the ground. Bryce Mitchell is a killer on the ground, and not a slouch on the feet. I think he's well-rounded. He's not going to be Edson Barboza straight up on the feet, but if he mixes in, as long as he doesn't get into a straight up stand up match with Barboza, I think Bryce Mitchell takes this. I think he gets him down. I think he gets the submission. So that being said, I'm taking Bryce Mitchell here via submission, and I think that's a pretty safe bet here. Let's go on to our next fight. We have a catchweight at 160, Rafael Dos Anjos versus Renato Moicano. This is an interesting one. Dos Anjos, veteran, good all around. Moicano is amazing on the ground, but not so great in the stand-up. I think Dos Anjos has the advantage in this fight, but I don't think he keeps it standing with Moicano. So I'm picking Moicano to win. I know this is, I think he's the underdog on Bovada, but I'm picking him to win this. I think he gets it to the ground. I think he submits Dos Anjos. And I don't see Dos Anjos and Moicano standing up in this fight. I'm pretty sure it's going to the ground. And last but not least, we have our main event of the evening. Colby Covington versus Jorge Masvidal at welterweight. They were friends, now they're enemies. I don't know, that whole spiel, But it seems to me that Colby Covington is the more well-rounded fighter here. Jorge Masvidal's got some sick moves. He's flashy. He's got power. He's got speed. But Colby Covington is the more well-rounded fighter. If it stays standing, I think Covington can still get the win. If it goes to the ground, Covington definitely gets the win. I do not see Masvidal winning this. I had Covington as a 400 favorite here. The sports books are pretty much around the same, I believe. The last time I checked, it was around 300 something. So I do not see Masvidal pulling this off. However, he does have the capability to get the upset, so don't count him out too much, but I'm picking Covington here, and I would put my money on Covington for this fight, except it is way too expensive. I don't suggest betting on Covington on this. For a minus 400, I don't think it's just worth betting on that. So that does it for our main event. Recap of the picks, we have Sergey Spivak versus Greg Hardy. We're taking Spivak. Kevin Holland versus Alex Oliveira. We have Holland. Edson Barboza versus Bryce Mitchell. We have Mitchell. Rafael Dos Anjos versus Renato Moicano. We have Moicano. And Colby Covington versus Jorge Masvidal. We have Covington. I'm going to suggest Mitchell and Moicano are pretty fair bets. I will not be betting on this event because, as I said, I'm dealing with a bunch of real-world stuff that is taking precedent right now. But I do suggest betting on those two. I think the money will pay out here. So thank you guys for watching. As always, smash that like button, give me a subscribe, and follow me on Twitter at OniPicks. We will be back. I'm going to try to be back next week for the next event. But as I said in the intro, unfortunately, time and real life situations are coming up, so I might be missing that, and I might just see you for the next big UFC event, which is 273. Thanks again, and see you guys.